guys, it's Ahmer here. So as you see behind me, we have this awesome PC build. Now this is actually my first PC, so I'm really excited to have this in my collection, and I'm hoping that I can get tons of use out of this computer. So this actually has VR capabilities, it has streaming, gaming, and the whole 9 yards on this PC. So today we're going to go ahead and check out everything that I picked out for this PC, all the specs and everything included, and all of these extras that I added to go ahead and have this set up, along with getting some close-up shots of this PC. So let's go ahead and check it out. So first, I went ahead with this Corsair Crystal Series 460X RGB, and this is a mid-size tower. So this was plenty big for everything that I would need in my PC build. I went along with this one because it is aesthetically pleasing. It has one whole side that you can actually see through the actual tower itself and see everything that's included, all the different components that I put in there. And this one was perfect because it was already built in the package, ready to go. So all I had to do was just some minor tweaks when I opened it up and installed everything in the PC, with the help of a buddy, of course. And this one is pretty sweet because it is RGB, and when I went to build this PC, I actually wanted something that looked really awesome when I was using it, and just something that really added to my game collection. So here we have these RGB LED fans, and they're actually pretty cool because there's 3 on the front, and this tower itself actually can house 6, and they all sync up with one another from this little switcher that's inside of this. And it's pretty easy to get to everything in here. There's a couple things that you actually have to take apart, and a couple of these screws that you have to gently remove when you're adding everything and just organizing some of the cables inside. But overall, I'm very happy with this case, and I went along and added a rear fan to this, as well as only 3 of the front fans were actually included. But there are some options that you can do, and you can go ahead and change out some of them as well if you weren't a fan of these particular RGB fans. But overall, I'm very happy with this mid-sized tower, and I think it definitely got the job done and looks great. So first, we'll begin with this power supply that I went and used inside of the tower. So this one I actually chose as opposed to some of the cheaper ones, because this one is modular, which means that it has tons of different cables included, but not all of them are actually hooked up to the power supply itself. So you can go ahead and pick out the ones that you actually need, and that way you don't have all these unnecessary cables and wires inside of your tower. Where this one, it comes with so many different extra ones, different sized ones. So everything that I needed was actually included in here, and I'm very happy with the results on this. So this one is the EVGA Supernova 750G3, and right here it says 80 plus gold, so 750 watt gold power supply. So on here it even says, introducing the EVGA Supernova G3 line. These new power supplies have a redesigned hydraulic dynamic bearing fan, which has an extremely long lifespan and near silent operation compared with double ball bearing. Also, the EVGA Supernova G3 power supply lineup has improved performance and less ripple, giving you the ultimate in high performance. All this delivered in a compact 150 mm chassis length, proving that good things can sometimes come in small packages. So So far, I'm pretty happy with this. It was definitely easy to install in this case, and it doesn't have all of those unnecessary wires attached to it itself, so this was perfect for my build. So next up, I actually used this motherboard right here. So this is by Republic of Gamers, and right here it shows what it's actually compatible with. So this was a pretty easy install right here, and I went with this B450F gaming motherboard. So this one was perfect for everything that I actually want to do with my PC, and this one's pretty sweet as well because it does have some of that lighting to it and looks pretty sweet. And then of course some of the specs for this. On the back panel ports, it actually has a PS-2 keyboard, mouse combo port ×1, USB 2.0 ×2, USB 3.1 Gen 1 ×4, HDMI 2.0 ×1, DisplayPort ×1, USB 3.1 Gen 2 ×2, Intel Ethernet ×1, optical S/PDIF out ×1, Supreme FX 8-channel audio, and it even supports AMD 3-way Crossfire X technology. It has an AM4 socket for AMD Ryzen 2nd generation, Ryzen with Radeon, Vega graphics, Ryzen 1st generation processors, chipset AMD B450 chipset. And then of course up next I chose this graphics card. So this is by MSI, and this is the graphics card Ventus XS OC edition, and this is the GeForce GTX 1660 Ti, and this is perfect for everything that I'll need. So on the back it says that it has a TorqueSpan 2.0 using two of the award-winning TorqueSpan 2.0 with long life bearings. The graphics card provides years of top-notch cooling performance. And then it even says a strong backbone. A sturdy backplate helps to strengthen the graphics card and complements the design to look even better. And it says the GeForce GTX 1660 Ti is powered by NVIDIA Turning architecture, bringing incredible performance to the latest games. Get game ready with GTX. And there's tons of different features and minimum system requirements on here. So that's something that you guys would have to check into if you're going for a PC build, just to make sure that this will be compatible. But works great with mine, and I'm very happy with this. So next up we have this processor right here. So I chose the AMD Ryzen 7. Now this one was a bit more expensive than some of the other parts, as it was right around $300. So this actually includes an AMD Ryzen processor, AMD thermal solution, installation instructions, and limited warranty information. And then on the top it says AMD Ryzen 7 2700 8-core 16-thread processor, 4.1 gigahertz max boost, 3.2 gigahertz base, discrete graphics card required. So this is pretty great, and this was a perfect install. It went in with no problems, and it definitely works great with all of the other components. Now of course, onto some more internals. I actually had this Trident Z RGB. Now these actually came with two, and here it says G-Skill Trident Z RGB series is the ultimate combination of extreme DDR4 performance and brilliant LED lighting, letting you show off your awesome build and get amazing memory performance at the same time. All G-Skill memory products come with a lifetime warranty, and the G-Skill technical team is always ready to provide complete technical support via online forum, telephone, or email. So this was a must-have for my PC build, and this one was a little bit more expensive as the internal parts go. So I went ahead with this 1 terabyte WD Blue 3.5-inch PC hard drive for my tower. And then of course I added this 240 gigabyte 2.5-inch solid state drive. Now this might be something that I upgrade in the future, or I may even add a couple more of these to my computer. So this is also included. Next up, we'll take a look at the monitor that I chose for this PC build. So this is an Asus MG248, and this is actually a 24-inch gaming monitor. So this has full HD 1080, 1 millisecond, and 144 hertz. So this has some great specs on here for gaming, and I went with this one. I can always add another one later, but this one will definitely keep me occupied for now, and I'm pretty excited that I chose this one, as I've seen some great reviews on it, and this one looks like it'll handle quite well, especially when I play some games on here. So of course, with any great PC build, you need some quality speakers. So I wanted to stick with something that was actually RGB. Now I found that there weren't very many options when looking at quality speakers that look really nice and go ahead and match everything with the RGB. So these are the Logitech G560, and these are the LightSync PC gaming speakers. Now, when I did some research on this, I found that these are actually really awesome speakers. So as you see in this picture right here, it actually syncs up to the games that you play, and the colors on these speakers adapt to what you're actually playing, and there's tons of different options that you can go ahead and use when trying to set these lights and syncing them up. So I thought this was pretty awesome, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing some games with these speakers, as it has this whole fully immersed in the gameplay. So on here it says what's in the box. You get 2 satellite speakers, 1 subwoofer with power cable, USB cable, and user documentation. So on here it has total watts, 240 watts, and that's the peak, and then total watts RMS, we have 120 watts, satellite 2 times 30 watts, subwoofer 1 times 60 watts, Bluetooth version 4.1, Bluetooth connections 2, reliable 25-meter line of sight range, USB input 1, 3.5 mm, auxiliary input 1, headphone jack 1. So this is something that I'll definitely have to play around with, and this is such a pretty cool option to have these RGB LightSync speakers from Logitech. And as you can tell, this is actually Battlefield 1. So you'll see on the screen, it actually matches up. So we have orange on this side and blue on the other. So I'll have to go ahead and look into this a little bit more and see how awesome these speakers are. So along with the Logitech speakers, I actually added this Logitech webcam to my monitor right here. So we have this C920 Pro HD webcam. So it has 1080p and 30 frames per second. So this will be very helpful when I start streaming games. So what I'll do is go ahead and get a little setup together once I get everything set up for streaming and recording gameplay. And then I'll go ahead and update you guys on the mics and everything else that I use and the capture card to go ahead and play some of these games. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And then of course on to some more Corsair products. So because I went with this Corsair tower right here, you'll notice that there are 3 fans in the front, and those were actually included with the case itself. So I added another fan to the setup right there, which is a rear fan, so I'll go ahead and get a better shot of that. And this one is the SP120 RGB, which is actually those 3 front fans as well. So all of these match one another, and this case actually holds 6. So what I could do is always get 2 more of these. They aren't very expensive. They're about $25. And I can add 2 more fans on top of the case to help cool down the PC. And it even looks pretty sweet because all of these fans can hook up to a 6-button switch that's actually included with the case. So you can go ahead and keep all of the fans the same color and have the same color pattern. Then you can go ahead and use this iCUE, a Corsair interface program with. So I wanted to stick with these Corsair products when I went ahead and built my PC, just so everything can be connected and look great and match with one another. So next up, with another Corsair product, I actually chose this keyboard. Now this is a first with these mechanical gaming keyboards for me, as I do play a lot of retro and vintage computer systems. So here we have this Corsair K70 RGB MK2. I went and tested out keyboards with the Corsair displays that were at Micro Center. So here, this is the Cherry MX RGB Brown style, which is fast, responsive, and tactical feedback. So I really like this one. There are a couple other style keyboards just like this. So if this is one that you're not too comfortable with, you can go ahead and try out the others. And then this one I thought was pretty neat because it even has these different keys included. So if you play a lot of PC games, you can go ahead and change them out. So right here it just says keycaps, sets, and there's some that are included. So you can just go ahead and change out these different buttons over here, and it kind of pops out so that it's easier to see, especially if you have all these lights and things going on. And then right here it even says detachable soft touch palm rest. So I actually added that to mine to make it a little bit more comfortable. And then it even has a USB pass-through port, dedicated volume and multimedia controls, which is very helpful. And there's tons of other features with this keyboard itself. So of course next I went ahead with this Corsair gaming mouse pad. This is the MM800 RGB Polaris. So this one is once again RGB as well, and everything connects through this Corsair program. This light looks amazing around it. There's so many different options that you can program it with. And this is a backlit RGB precision gaming mouse pad. And then it has tons of different features. It says RGB LED lighting. There's a 15-zone RGB LED customizable lighting under your control with nearly limitless lighting effects. There is the zero slip, a non-slip rubber base, which helps it stay securely in place. There's a USB pass-through, and then there's low friction. So this is a low friction micro-textured surface, which ensures fast pixel precise tracking. And I haven't had any issues with it because the mouse actually slides very well. It's different than a standard mouse pad, but I really wanted this build to look great, and I wanted everything to be good to go when I actually started streaming and playing games on this PC. And then of course onto this gaming mouse we have the Corsair Gaming Harpoon RGB. So this one was one of their less expensive options, but it definitely gets the job done. And I didn't want to overwhelm myself by choosing a mouse that had way too many buttons on it at first, as I need to get more comfortable with actually PC gaming. So this one has high accuracy, 6000 DPI optical gaming sensor with advanced tracking, lightweight, comfortable, and contour design, high performance Ahmer switches rated for 20 million clicks. And then this little logo right here is the part that actually lights up with the RGB. Once again, there's different options and you can go ahead and sync it to all of the other components, which is really cool. Then it has 6 fully programmable buttons, on-the-fly DPI switching, dynamic multicolor backlighting, textured rubber side grips. And it slides very well on the Corsair mousepad, so this is definitely a great option. So I hope that you guys are as excited as I am for this PC build. This is my first one, and I definitely think everything went well. I bought mostly everything for this PC at Micro Center, and I had a buddy of mine actually work with me as we put together this tower. He mostly did all of the work, but I definitely learned a lot from watching him put everything in there and getting a little bit better with the cable management. So stay tuned as I'll give some updates on that and hopefully make it a little bit more appealing on the inside. But everything powers up great. It's definitely an amazing PC build, and I'm really happy with everything that I chose for this. And within the past week, I went out to IKEA, bought this entire desk. This is the Mickey desk, and I added the desk expansion that they also have, and I'll go ahead and do a video on updating everything once I get another monitor or TV set up with some systems, and when I actually get another mic and capture card and everything hooked up, ready to go. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.